What's going on, guys? Tyler here, back with another Elementor video, and in today's video we're talking about the infamous animated headline. And I say infamous because every time I talk about Elementor Pro and upgrading, this is always a feature that really sticks out to me, is this awesome animation that can draw a user's focus to a specific piece of text. And in this video we're going to talk all about it, so stay tuned. Of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure and smash that nice red looking subscribe button so you can be notified of upcoming videos just like this one. And of course, if you do not have Elementor Pro yet, be sure and click that link down below in the description and see what kind of price you can get for Elementor Pro. It is a phenomenal plugin, and the animated headline is going to be a feature that you'll want to have on your site. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and talk about the animated headline and jump into my computer. So we're here in the back end of Elementor on a brand new page. I actually just switched this page over to the page layout of Elementor Canvas. So there's nothing else on the page, just whatever we drag and drop on here. Alright guys, so first things first, we're just going to go ahead and drag and drop in an animated headline. And I've pulled this section down a little bit so you can actually see the effect that's going on here. And right over here we can see right off the bat there is focus being drawn to one specific word through a circle being drawn, and that's almost like kind of like a marker, like you would circle that with a marker. And that's the whole point of this animated headline, is to really draw your visitors' focus to one specific point. Now, using an animated headline is very easy. You have the before text, and that's referring to the text that is before the actual keyword that is being highlighted. You have the highlighted text, and then you have the after text. So you could put, "This page is amazing for viewers like you," and that's after text. Now the cool thing here is that you have so many different options for highlighted text, and I think this is brand new. I think they have a lot more options that they just recently added to Elementor, because I have not seen any of these before. And that's one reason I'm excited for the video, is hopefully you're going to see here some new effects that you've never seen before. So we have highlighted right here for the style. We have two different styles. We have highlighted and rotating. And highlighted is going to refer to the actual text being highlighted. Rotating is going to refer to a list of text that can be cycled out interchangeably. But more on that in just a second. Let's stick with highlighted right here. And we have different shapes that we can actually use to highlight the text. So super cool. Plus you have control over the color of this. If you need to go ahead and change that, you can go over to style, and under shape you can adjust the width. You can make it really nice and thick there. You can use a different color. You can bring it to front or around the edges. Whatever you need to do there, you can do that and have those style options there. But other than circle, we have curly. Now this is going to kind of bring a softer feel to the page. A feel that just kind of like is not, you know, super strong or anything like that, but still brings a little bit of attention to this specific word. Then we also have underline. Now underline is just kind of like a drawn underline. If you just like quickly drew a quick underline with a marker, this is probably what it would look like. Of course, guys, this is an Elementor Pro feature, and Elementor Pro, if you haven't seen my previous video, is actually going to be changing their prices for some of their plans. So starting on March 9th, 2021, if you haven't heard, their prices are going up. So you definitely want to get in before March 9th of 2021. Again, I have a card up top here. You can click on it and check out the video I made about that price increase, but it really is a phenomenal plugin, and so you'll definitely want to get in before they raise up their prices. And then next we have double, and this is cool because at the bottom of the word you'll get a line drawn in, and then at the top of the word you'll get one drawn in after, and then they'll fade out in the same order. The bottom will fade out and the top will fade out just after that. Then we have double underline, and I don't know about you guys, but this is kind of how I underline things. If I'm writing a note to someone, I usually double underline or do a zigzag underline, and this is the double underline right here. This is kind of makes it pop off the page just a little bit more because you got that double underline. They're like, wow, you know, it's very important to read this one specific word right here. And then we have underline zigzag. This is the other method that I use when underlining a note, is this underline zigzag. And again, you can change all of these properties if you want to make it, you know, really thin so it's very very like fine like a pen, or you want to make it really thick like a big marker wrote it, you can do that also just right there. But let's keep going. We have diagonal here. Now this is going to start the section of negative highlights right here. So this is going to be a diagonal is actually going to cross through the word. This is to kind of promote like a negative, like does not exist here. So obviously this text doesn't really make sense now that it says that the page is not amazing for viewers like you. But if you were maybe like a Go Green brand and you wanted to show that you're like plastic free or something like that, so you put a big line through plastic, or maybe you want to like show that your sales process is very, very easy, and so you're putting like speaking with a difficult sales rep and put a line through it or something like that to kind of promote what your brand is through showing what you're not. Right here we have a strike through, and this is actually going to be very important. I'm going to show you this a little bit later on, so remember this one right here. This is a directly horizontal line. There's no kind of variation in the pattern. It is completely horizontal, and that's actually crucial for something that I will be showing you a little bit later, so keep that in mind. Also, we have the X. Of course, this is just like drawing an X through the word, like you're again not focused on that word. All right, guys, super exciting. Let's talk about the rotating styles. And this is what I'm super excited about. I think these look really, really good. And like I said, right over here, we have the before text, the after text, but under rotating text, we now have 3 words. And what this actually is doing is picking a word from this list and rotating it in right here. So you can see that this is kind of bringing all the words. Maybe you have like specific words that really relate to your brand, and you want to show them what your brand is without having to go through a bunch of different animations or anything like that. You can just kind of make one broad statement with a word that is interchanging, and people will get the feel and design of your brand and what it really is. So for example, I could say something like, I want to learn, and then I could put in web design, I could put in graphic design, I could put in how to code. All those things would kind of just interchange, and you could see kind of how this would be a headline that kind of shows what the product is that they're signing up for. Now, a few things to note. This is the typing animation, and if you look right here, you can actually see it comes out like it's typed out and then gets highlighted, like somebody selects the word and then deletes it, and then a new word is typed out. I think it's a super cool animation and would be really cool kind of for a modern, maybe a little bit more like tech-based website. I think it's a really cool effect. And of course, I want to show you here, you can change the styles. So we have a different option here for the animated text right here. This is going to be the color of the text right before it is highlighted. So when it's fully typed out, like you just saw there, right there, right where it's fully typed out, you can adjust those settings right here. You can even adjust typography if you want to use a different font or anything like that. You can switch that right here. And when it types out, you'll see it'll be a different font there. But what I do want to show you is the selected text. They even give you the option to make changes to the text after it's being highlighted and selected. So I'm going to go ahead and change this text color to white. I think it'll look better. And watch, once it's selected, you'll see what happens here. And it gets highlighted and it's white at that point. I think that looks a little bit better. It kind of looks like that inverted colors and gives it a better contrast there. So yeah, that's a lot of different options for stylizing this effect. Now let's keep going with the animation and look at some other ones. We have clip. Now clip is kind of cool actually. It's almost like if you were typing, but the typing was very, very fluid and there was no like, letter. It was more just like a flow of letters. And I think it looks really cool. I think this would be a really cool effect for really any kind of website. I could see a lot of different websites using this effect to kind of demonstrate what their brand is about with this rotating animated headline. Now, of course, we have the flip effect here. This is kind of just words flip up. It's a very subtle effect. Nothing really changes. The words aren't moving around because of the sentence getting smaller and bigger and things like that. So it's not as eye-catching, but there is also the swirl. Again, another subtle effect. I do want to show you though with these subtle effects, what you can do that is eye-catching. Say you like this, you don't want anything that's like moving around or popping off the screen or anything like this. What you can do is go over to style and switch the animated text color to a different color. use your brand color, whatever color you want. But if you do that, you'll actually see you can get a kind of cool effect where it is actually kind of popping off the page. If we go, let's just go with like an orange right here. You can see now this really is popping off the page. Even though it's not like a big change or a big animation happening, you can see your focus is definitely drawn to that word. Okay, now let's keep going and check out the other ones here. I'm gonna go ahead and just reset this here so you can continue to see what the animations look like. Over here under animations, we have blinds. Again, a pretty subtle one. The letters are actually turning in on themselves and they are switching to the next word. We have drop in. This one kind of just, it's like a little bit bigger and it kind of scales down to fit in its place. Yeah, not a huge effect. It probably wouldn't be very, popping, but it is a very gentle effect. So if you're looking for something, maybe you have a very professional website and like a lot of animation would make things kind of just look cartoony and weird, you definitely want to look for something more subtle, and this could be a decent one. Any of these, the flip, swirl, blinds, drop in, the wave even isn't too bad. It kind of pops a little bit, but it's pretty subtle there as well. Now when we get to slide is a little bit bigger, and when the word kind of comes out of its blank space and comes through, it kind of catches your eye a little bit more, as well as the slide down. The slide down actually breaks that horizontal line of text because it comes up above and then drops into place. So when that happens, you kind of get your eyes drawn to it a little bit more. The animation stands out a little bit. So you're going to have to kind of decide if you want to subtly draw your attention to this word and this headline, or if you really just want to like make it pop off the page and be like, this is it. If you understand this one headline, you will understand our business and brand and product. All right, guys, now let's go ahead and talk about one other really cool effect. But before we do, I do just want to mention, I do have that brand new ebook I just put out called 7 Trending Elementor Designs for 2021. It is an awesome ebook and talks about a lot of the effects that I've mentioned here on my channel, but kind of like breaks down how to do them and how to implement them, and also how long they'll take to actually put on your site. So if you guys are interested in that, click on that link down below. You'll join my mailing list. I even just put together an email about minimalistic design for your website. I think you'll really enjoy it. So if you're interested in getting my emails and getting that free ebook, click down there and join. All right, guys, so for this last effect, it really is a cool effect. We're gonna go back to editing this animated headline, go down to highlighted for style, and go to Strikethrough. And like I said previously, this is a exactly horizontal line, which is perfect for us and gives us what we need. So over here under style, we can actually break these bounds of how big this slider allows us to make the actual width of the bar. So right over here you can see we're anywhere from 1 pixel, which is a super skinny bar, all the way up to 20 pixels, which makes it a little bit thicker there. But we can actually change this to whatever number we want, and that's why I love Elementor, is the customization is really just there and available for anyone. So let's go ahead and actually up this to like 100. And right there you can see we now have a new effect. We're no longer striking through something, we're actually highlighting something with almost like a highlighter. And I think that looks really good. I think it really pops off the page. And if that's kind of the effect that you're going for, because it really is an amazing effect and really should be on the list of Elementor effects, even though we just made our own, you should definitely check this out and try this one out, because I think it's very minimalistic. It's a nice square, nice rectangle. It just highlights one word and that's it. And again, guys, this animated headline can be crucial for drawing in a visitor's attention. And when you don't have a lot of moving pieces on the page, a small animation can go a long way. And so you don't want to overuse these animated headlines. You want to use them sparingly, and you want to use them with your key focal point in mind. So whatever your big statement is for your business, or for the product that you're offering, or whatever you're selling, or whatever you're trying to display and bring the visitor's attention to, you want to put that on the animated headline. Do it in a simple and concise manner, and you will have a lot of focus drawn to your main point. And last but not least, thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel and supporting me here. We are growing very, very rapidly. And last thing, if I could just ask you to hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. It helps this video kind of get boosted in the YouTube algorithm. And like I said, next week's video is going to be really, really cool. So be sure and stay tuned. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care.